One plant can become 20 for free, but the method most people use first has the lowest success rate of all. In this video, every propagation method, which plants each one works for, why cuttings fail, and one method almost nobody talks about that has the highest success rate of all. Stay until the end for that last one. Before we go through each method, you need to understand why propagation fails, because most people who try and fail make the same two mistakes regardless of which method they use. Mistake 1. No node. A node is the point on a stem where a leaf attaches, the small bump or joint visible at every leaf junction. Roots can only form from nodes. A cutting with no node will never root, no matter how long you wait, no matter what you put it in. The most common propagation failure is a cutting taken between nodes, from the middle of a bare stem section with nothing to grow from. Mistake 2. Wrong conditions during rooting. Cuttings need warmth, indirect light, and consistent humidity while roots form. Cold windowsills, direct sun, and dry air all slow or prevent rooting. A cutting is a vulnerable piece of plant with no root system to absorb water. It depends entirely on its environment to stay alive long enough to root. Fix both of these and your success rate across every method improves immediately. If this channel is new to you, subscribe. We cover a new plant topic every week in exactly this format. Water propagation. This is the method most people try first, and it is the easiest to get started with, which is why it is so popular. Cut a healthy stem just below a node. Remove any leaves that would sit below the waterline. Leaves submerged in water rot within days and contaminate the water, killing the cutting before roots form. Place the cutting in a clean glass of room temperature water with the node submerged and the remaining leaves above the surface. Place in bright, indirect light. Change the water every 3 to 4 days to keep it oxygenated and prevent bacterial buildup. Roots typically appear within 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the plant and the temperature. The major limitation of water propagation is the transition to soil. Roots that develop in water are structurally different from roots that develop in soil. They are less dense, with fewer fine feeder root hairs. When you move a water-rooted cutting into soil, it has to essentially rebuild its root system for the new medium. This is why water-propagated plants often look stressed and stall after potting up. To reduce transplant shock, wait until roots are at least 3 to 4 centimeters long before potting. Pot into barely moist mix, not wet. Water sparingly for the first 2 weeks. The roots are adapting to a completely different environment and need time. Best for pothos, philodendron, begonias, impatiens, coleus, tradescantia. These root quickly and transition to soil relatively well. Not ideal for succulents, cacti, woody plants, or plants that root slowly. These do better in soil directly. Soil propagation. This produces stronger, better established root systems than water propagation because the roots develop already adapted to the medium they will grow in permanently. Take a cutting just below a node. For most plants, allow the cut end to dry and callus for 30 to 60 minutes before inserting into soil. This seals the wound and dramatically reduces the risk of rot at the cut surface. For succulents and cacti, allow 24 to 48 hours for the callus to form fully before any contact with moist medium. Use a propagation mix rather than standard potting mix. Standard mix is too nutrient-rich and moisture-retentive for cuttings with no roots. It encourages bacterial growth around the cut end rather than root formation. A 50-50 mix of perlite and coco coir, or a dedicated propagation mix, provides the drainage and aeration that newly forming roots need. Insert the cutting into barely moist mix, not wet, and firm gently around the base. Place in bright, indirect light and cover loosely with a clear plastic bag or propagation dome to maintain humidity. Check every few days and mist lightly if the mix feels completely dry. You will know roots have formed when the cutting begins to show new growth, or when you feel gentle resistance if you tug the stem lightly. Do not pull it out to check. Leave it undisturbed. Best for succulents, cacti, rosemary, lavender, woody herbs, African violets, monstera, and any plant that roots slowly or struggles to transition from water to soil. Leaf propagation. Not every plant can be propagated from a leaf, but for the ones that can, it is one of the most efficient methods because a single plant can produce dozens of propagation material without any damage to the parent. For succulents, remove a healthy, plump leaf with a clean twisting motion. It must detach cleanly from the stem with the base of the leaf intact. A leaf torn at the base without its attachment point will not produce a new plant. Lay the leaf on top of dry propagation mix in bright, indirect light. Do not bury it and do not water it initially. Within 2 to 6 weeks, tiny pink roots will emerge from the base of the leaf, followed by a small rosette of new growth. Water only when the roots appear and the soil is completely dry. For African violets, cut a healthy leaf with its petiole, the stem connecting the leaf to the plant. Leave the petiole intact and insert it at a 45-degree angle into moist propagation mix, or place it in water with the petiole submerged and the leaf above. New plantlets emerge from the base of the petiole over 8 to 12 weeks. One important limitation: leaf propagation only works for plants that can regenerate a complete new plant from a single leaf. Succulents, African violets, begonias, sedums, and echeverias, yes. Monstera, pothos, philodendron, no. A monstera leaf without a node will never produce a new plant regardless of how long you wait. Division. This is the fastest and most reliable propagation method of all, and the one most people overlook because it requires unpotting the plant. Division works for any plant that produces multiple stems, offsets, or pups from a shared root system. The plant is removed from its pot. The root ball is separated into 2 or more sections, each with its own roots and stems, and each section is potted individually. Because each divided section already has an established root system, it does not go through a rooting phase at all. It simply continues growing in its new pot. This means division produces results in weeks rather than months, and the new plants are immediately as vigorous as the parent. For plants with distinct pups or offsets, snake plants, aloe vera, spider plants, bromeliads, the separation is clean and straightforward. Identify the offset, trace its connection to the parent plant, and cut or gently pull it away at the point where the 2 root systems connect. Each pup needs its own roots to survive independently. For clumping plants, peace lilies, calathea, hostas, tease the root ball apart gently, separating sections that each have several stems and a healthy portion of roots. Use a clean knife if the root ball is too dense to separate by hand. Division also preserves variegation completely. Unlike leaf cuttings and some stem cuttings, division carries the full genetic identity of the parent plant, including any variegation pattern. Layering. Simple, low risk, and significantly underused. Layering works by pinning a stem node into moist soil while it is still attached to the parent plant. The node forms roots while continuing to receive water and nutrients from the parent, which means the cutting never experiences the stress of separation during the most vulnerable rooting phase. For trailing plants like pothos, philodendron, and tradescantia, bend a long vine so that a node touches the surface of a second pot placed nearby. Pin the node against the soil using a small clip, bobby pin, or a piece of wire bent into a U shape. Keep both pots moist. Within 2 to 4 weeks, roots will form at the node and new growth will confirm the connection is established. At that point, cut the stem connecting the new plant to the parent. This method has a higher success rate than water or soil cuttings for most plants, because the cutting is never severed until it is self-sufficient. The failure mode of a dead cutting, no water uptake, no roots, desiccation, simply cannot happen with layering because the parent plant supplies everything until the roots form. Best for pothos, philodendron, tradescantia, strawberry runners, spider plant plantlets, any trailing or vining plant with accessible nodes. Air layering. This is the method almost nobody talks about, and it has the highest success rate of any propagation technique for woody, tall, or difficult-to-root plants. Air layering works by wounding a stem and encouraging it to root while it is still attached to the parent plant. Similar to layering, but done on an upright or aerial stem rather than a trailing vine. The wound is packed with moist sphagnum moss and sealed with plastic wrap to maintain humidity around it. Roots form into the moss over 4 to 8 weeks, and the rooted section is then removed and potted. Here is the step-by-step process. Choose a healthy stem section on an established plant, ideally below a node on a woody or semi-woody stem. Make 2 parallel cuts through the bark roughly 3 centimeters apart, then remove the ring of bark between them, exposing the pale wood beneath. This ring of removed bark is called a girdle. Dust the exposed area with rooting hormone powder if available, though it is not essential. Take a generous handful of sphagnum moss, soaked in water and then squeezed out so it is moist but not dripping, and wrap it firmly around the wounded area. Wrap the entire moss ball with clear plastic wrap, sealing both ends tightly with tape or twist ties so no moisture can escape. The moss must stay consistently moist for roots to form. Over the next 4 to 8 weeks, watch through the clear plastic for white roots growing into the moss. When roots are visible around the entire moss ball and are at least 2 to 3 centimeters long, the section is ready to remove. Cut the stem just below the rooted section. Carefully unwrap the plastic. Leave the moss intact around the roots rather than removing it, as the roots will have grown through it and pulling it away causes damage. Pot the entire rooted section, moss and all, into well-draining mix. Why this works so well: the stem is never separated from its water and nutrient supply until the roots are fully formed and capable of supporting the plant independently. There is no vulnerable gap between severance and rooting. The success rate for air layering on suitable plants is close to 100% when done correctly. Best for monstera that has become too tall and leggy, fiddle leaf fig, rubber plant, dracaena, Chinese evergreen, any plant with a single tall woody stem that has lost its lower leaves. This is the technique for taking the top off a leggy plant and turning it into a new compact specimen. Here is the quick reference. For each plant, the method listed first is the most reliable. Pothos and philodendron, layering first, then water or soil cuttings. Division if clumping. Leaf cuttings do not work. Monstera, air layering for tall, leggy plants. Stem cuttings with node for new plants. Pup division if available. Leaf cuttings do not work. Succulents and cacti, leaf propagation for rosette types. Stem cuttings for columnar types. Division for clumping types. Allow full callus before any contact with soil. Snake plant. Division of pups is fastest and preserves variegation. Water or soil cuttings work, but variegated varieties revert to plain green from leaf sections. Spider plant. Division of plantlets once they develop their own small root system. Peg plantlets into soil while still attached for layering approach. Fiddle leaf fig and rubber plant. Air layering for mature plants. Stem cuttings from semi-woody growth in soil with humidity dome. Slow to root. Expect 6 to 8 weeks minimum. African violet, leaf with petiole in water or soil, one of the most reliable leaf propagation plants available. Aloe vera, division of pups only. Leaf cuttings do not produce new plants. Let's bring it together. The method most people use first, water cuttings, has the lowest success rate because the roots that form are structurally different from soil roots, and the transition causes stress. Soil cuttings produce stronger plants. Division is the fastest method with the highest success rate. Layering removes the most dangerous phase of propagation entirely. And air layering, the method almost nobody uses, works on plants that fail with every other technique. One plant can genuinely become 20 for free. You just need the right method for the right plant. If you have a specific plant you want to propagate and you're not sure which method to use, drop it in the comments. I read every single one and I'll tell you exactly what to do. If this was useful, subscribe. Every week we cover a new plant topic in exactly this format, and the library is growing. You won't need to guess anymore.